Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so let's talk a little basketball, man. I'm hearing some interesting news out of Charlotte. Miles Bridges allegedly said that he's going to be looking toward the Detroit Pistons, and I say allegedly because it was said that he said this in a rap song, and I ain't heard the song myself, so I don't want to get out here and say, yo, this was definitely said or whatever. I'm just looking at the reports and I'm seeing what everybody else is saying. Essentially, if Charlotte isn't able to get him his money, he already has a destination that he would like to go to in Detroit. Now, I think that's massive. I think that's huge news because we understand that Michael Jordan is trying to do everything he can to re-sign this kid. I think he looks at the situation as keeping him and LaMelo together is basically the key to keeping Melo happy, in my opinion, keeping that team exciting, keeping that team worth watching. Melo's gonna always be worth watching. You keep a human highlight film like that next to him, and you're gonna always be great to watch, both at home and on the road. And for a team like Charlotte, that's paramount. It's absolutely paramount. The issue is, of course, having the money to pay the man. Now we know that Gordon Hayward contract is not favorable at this point. Mason Plumlee also has a contract that isn't all that great, so it's kind of tricky. You know, you got to pay LaMelo. He's gonna likely be due the maximum amount of money later on down the road. So you got to try to lock in who all you care to lock in. I think they've already paid PJ Washington, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a situation where they gotta try to squeeze Miles in, and he's such an important piece that you have to, you have to make the move now. Now this is important specifically for me as a Laker fan, because I know that Michael Jordan wants the Russell Westbrook contract so that he can have it reserved for Miles Bridges and get that money to Miles Bridges or what have you. But if Miles is talking about darting to Detroit, it doesn't make sense for Michael to try to trade for Russell Westbrook. So this situation gets a little dicey, because now you're looking at the situation and you're saying, okay, if Miles darts to Detroit, what is Mike looking to do to replace that piece? Is that piece already represented on the roster as one of their young players, someone move up? Or do they now become players in signing somebody else? Maybe they want to trade for somebody in response to that. So things can get rather interesting very quickly there in Charlotte. And as far as Detroit's concerned, I'm telling you, if they add Miles Bridges, that's yet another big player to an already massive lineup. I keep telling you guys, that team is huge, man. I don't think people are ready for the size that the Detroit Pistons are going to put on the floor. They were huge last year. And now you add Durant, you add Ivy, and now you look at a situation where Miles Bridges wants to add himself to the situation. You already got, Sadiq Bey. You already got Stewart. You already have, obviously, Cade Cunningham. Hamidou Diallo's on tab. Garza's on tab. They have a big, talented, young team. And if you add Miles Bridges, a player who I could argue should have been an all-star last year, you could be looking at a playoff team there in Detroit. You could legitimately looking at a playoff team right now, not waiting for them. I'm talking right out the gate. When you look at the type of athleticism that Ivy puts on, the type of jump that Sadiq Bey made shooting the ball last year, look at the type of year Cade Cunningham had when he came back from injury. It's a lot to like there. It's a whole lot to like there. And now you add a rim protector extraordinaire, someone like Durant, on top of what they have in Stewart. The length alone between those two bigs is going to make it impossible to deal with them. That length alone, we're not even talking about the length that Cade has himself. He's like dealing with a forward out there at the point guard position on the defensive end. His arms are long, he's active, he's smart. Now you got Jaden Ivey getting out in fast break. If there's a steal of any kind, you got to understand that kid's going to get from one side of the court to the next in 3 seconds. Like the Detroit Pistons have immediately vaulted themselves into a position to be the next Pelicans, Timberwolves, whatever the young team was of last year, you best believe they are that right now. You best believe it in the Eastern Conference. Now, I don't know if that's going to translate to them making the playoffs. They have to still build their team. Obviously, you got to see if they can get this piece in Bridges. But I already thought that they were an interesting team without any thoughts of him being a part of this thing. You add him to it without them subtracting anything. You add him as a free agent, and I'm telling you, the Detroit Pistons should be a playoff team. He should be enough to make them one of the top 8, or one of the top 10 rather, to get them in the play-in tournament. I really believe that, because you're adding pieces to that team that really, really make them different. Ivy and Durant, adding them 2 pieces to what they already had, that was scary, man. I'm telling you, that was scary. You added 2 lottery pieces, and not just any lottery pieces, but key positions, key pieces, that are going to make them different. And I see Miles Bridges appeal to that team. I see why he sees himself as a solution to that squad. That's why I was saying, like, Bradley Beal should be looking in that direction. I think there should be a couple guys who are up for free agency that should not just assume that free agency is going to be bad for them, because if you're not a guard, some of these situations might be appealing to you. Because all of these teams that have free agency money have guards in place. But if you're a forward, or if you're able to play positions, if you're a center, yeah, most of these free agency destinations are a decent fit for you. So I'm not mad at Miles Bridges for considering that spot. And I think it would be a good spot for him if he goes there. I think him and Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey, that's a 4. I'm not going to say big 4 because they have to prove themselves, but that's a 4 right there. And then you got Durant, 5. You know what I'm saying? And now you're moving Stewart to the bench or into a lesser role. I think that's good. You're not asking him to be the main big. That makes him even more dangerous. So, good luck. Good luck, Eastern Conference. I don't know who's going to be moving out the way. I don't know how soon. But I look at teams like Philadelphia, teams like Brooklyn. Y'all better get better. Y'all better get better. That's all I got to say. So that's really my thought, man. Miles Bridges, who knows? If Michael can somehow secure the money to pay Miles Bridges, I'm pretty sure he'll stay in Charlotte. He had a really good season last year. The chemistry is good. I think he has an all-star team, selection coming up very soon in his career. Very soon. But it's going to be incumbent upon Mike to get him his money, man. Get that man his money. Because if not, he's going to take all of what he did on both sides of the floor, defense and offense, and he's headed to Big D, man. He's headed to Detroit basketball, straight up. So that's what I got to say, man. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.